And it's a very simple process when you get on the charts. It's you getting to the screen and saying, okay, what is my signal? Do I trade 3-day longs? Um, do I trade inside days, first red days, first green days? What's your signal? Because that's what you'll be looking for. 2-3 day long pattern is nothing but a pump and dump template, right? Monday, breach the high. Tuesday, breach the high. Now we got a signal for 3-day longs. We're looking for reversals. We don't necessarily get to the level. So am I looking for this trade? Not necessarily. I know that this is US 30 and normally the indexes move similarly. So I didn't get in this trade on US 30 because it wasn't at the level. But nonetheless, you get that nice sell at the high of day. Canadians can hop in Gates FX. I'm pretty sure, but I would just I would fact check that. So let me show you why it is important to wait for levels, because they tell the story. Now here's the one that I was looking at, right? So here I marked Monday's high and Monday's low. Now this is just, imagine me not seeing any of this and I come to the charts and I'm just looking for, for a pump and dump template. I know that I got 1 day of long. I'm waiting. Tuesday, it's day 2. I'm waiting. I'm seeing how the day closes. Now we have 2 days which breached the high and closed bullish. So now we have a signal for 3-day longs. And all I'm doing on the 3rd day is waiting for the previous day's high to be breached again and for me to reverse at the high, literally. So when I'm looking at this, let's get you out the way. When I'm looking at this, it's literally just me saying, if my signal is 3-day longs, then I need to see breach the high 1, breach the high 2, breach the high 3rd time on a Wednesday. This is a day 1, day 2, day 3 pattern on the front side of the week. And you get this nice sell back down to Monday's low. So it's all on what signal you're trying to trade, for one, and you just being patient for these. That's the problem. Everybody wants to trade Monday. Everybody wants to trade Tuesday. But the real trades are on day 3 because you're letting the signal tell you when to enter the market. That is the key. So for this week, we got a 3-day long pattern, weekly template, pump and dump. If it was a 3-day short pattern, we would see a dump and pump template. That is what you're looking for a weekly template trade. If you're trading the weekly cycle, look at this one, right? Monday's high is here. Monday's low is here. What am I looking for on Monday? Nothing. I'm not looking for anything because it needs to set up. That's what Stacy is trying to tell you guys, is that you need to wait for these days to set up, because we're not trying to trade every day. Stop the over trading. Stop thinking that you're going to try to find a trade every single time you hop on the markets. It's literally pump day. Then you have a false break day. But I don't have lower lows in the inside of this pump. I know we're front side. So what am I waiting for? A signal. Now we have an inside day. Again, I'm waiting for these days to close, right? Now on the inside day, for one, the day previous, we false broke. Then on Wednesday, which is a actually close as an inside day. So I'm waiting for a signal to tell me when to sell high. So once this day closes, I can clearly see that we've broken the low and made lower lows now. This was not making lower lows. It was making higher lows. Now we're making lower lows. So when this day closes on an inside day, you're waiting for previous daily levels to be breached. What are levels? These levels: previous day's high, previous day's low, and closing price. If you are not at those levels, after you have a signal, you're not trading the strategy correctly. That's very important. You need a signal that's going to tell you when to sell. We break the previous day's low and make a lower low. This is a pump and dump template. So when we make this lower low, we pump back up to the level. We coil and we dump. Are we back at Monday's low yet? We are not. And I have a close and breakout short. I still have room. So my bias is still sell. Why? Because we have breached the previous day's low. Lower low. Pumped up, right? So on this day, I was waiting for this to happen. Because I like to see a stop hunt first. If I'm going higher, that means that the high is not locked in. If I'm going lower, that means the low is not locked in. We lock in the high and then we sell off of a trap and shift. So again, it's you waiting for these levels. That is key. And you can go to any single week and mark Monday's high, Monday's low. So if we just was looking at this and we were looking at levels, because you're not looking at individual candles, you're looking at the levels. And when price gets to those levels, you're asking yourself, timings, levels, behavior, or price. So I'm letting Monday close. Tuesday, I'm letting Tuesday close. Wednesday, I'm looking for trades. So if I know that Monday closed like this, right? I never trade Mondays. Sometimes I'll trade Tuesdays, but it really depends. Most of the time I don't. I like to wait for the backside. But for this example, we get back to Monday's low. When we get to the Monday's low, we break out. Now, there are only 3 things that's going to happen. We break out, we pull back, we fail. We break out, we pull back, we trend, or we range. We broke out, we pulled back, and we failed and made a higher high in the inside. This lower high was broken. As soon as I get a lower high that breaks at the low, draw it across. That is a break of structure. Now you have a higher high in the inside. And this is all with me not caring about anything else, me strictly going off of market structure, the weekly template, and me finding these at the low of the week, at the high of the week. Those are your high probability setups. So once we get this higher high, we dump back down. Guess what? We dump back down to the break of structure level. Coincidentally, this is the low of day. Sometimes it may not always get there. So if I'm going to buy, I'm going to buy the previous day's low or the low of day. Now, as you can see right here, if we were to go to a lower time frame, you would see this as a creeping trend. You got to study your patterns. Study your patterns. We have a creeping trend going into our breakout level, our break of structure level, and then we pump up. You need a higher high to start your trade. Then you need a dump, because after you get a higher high, you have to wait for the dump. That's why a lot of people are getting caught up. They're entering too early because they're thinking that after the higher high, they can now enter. No, higher high equals dump first, coil, and then pump. So again, break of structure, draw the lower high that failed across. You're at the low of week. You failed at Monday's low, which was here, sorry. You failed at Monday's low. We're back inside of Monday's range, making a higher high, dump, coil, pump, and this day closes all the way up here as a close and breakout. Mind you, that we are now up high on the week. We are up high. So Wednesday closes as a close and breakout. Boom. Now we're on day 1 on the backside. I am not rushing to get into trades. I'm waiting. On a pump and dump setup, if a lower high fails and it goes back up, is that considered a trap and shift? So a trap and shift is something like this, where it just consolidates. it will like do a squeeze or consolidate, and then all of a sudden you may get a lower low first, and then it'll immediately shoot up and then immediately reverse and give you a little pullback and keep doing that. I'll show you an example, but this is a trap and shift. So it's going to create a lower low, and then it's going to immediately pump up. The pump is going to be noticeable, and then it'll reverse at a level. Just got notification. Did you just start? I didn't just start, but you're right on time. I'm going to be going over the same things. So, boom, day one, Wednesday. We got a pump day. Remember, if I'm looking for 3-day setups, this was not a 3-day setup. You just bought from the low. Mind you, we're at the previous week's low. So, again, we have a closing breakout now that's broken out of Monday's high. My thought process is I'm not trying to take a buy or a sell or whatever. I'm not trying to take a trade. I need to see the market play its hands. So, day one, I'm looking for either a pump day or a dump day. I'm not trading. I'm not analyzing. I'm not doing none of that, all the complicated science project, whatever type of stuff y'all do. I'm just looking for a pump day. We close and breakout. Cool. So Thursday comes, right? And now I'm looking for my signal day. Your day two is going to be a signal day, right? So what do we get here? We have a day. Mind you, look at this, right? We close and breakout in Asia session. We make a higher low. We fail at that high. We actually breach the previous day's high on Thursday. And then we fail. And then what do? Lower lows. When you have a higher low, draw the higher low across. I don't even have to draw it because it's actually Monday's high, right? So, boom, we have the line signifying the higher low that's failed, and we have lower lows in the inside of this pump. Now the day closes as a first red day. And what is a first red day? A first red day is a day that closes below the open. Hi, Q. Appreciate this live. I appreciate your support. And I hope to see you on my Discord. If you're not, I think you're already in my Discord. But I appreciate your support. But I get a first red day, right? I need to see lower lows. That's what the signal days are for. So I'm going to write this on the screen. And these are what I'm looking for a day two. First red day. If I'm looking for a pump and dump, you're either going to see a first red day. You're going to see a false break day. You're going to see an inside day. And that's the only three things that you're going to see at the high. That's honestly about it. So your signal day needs to be one of these three. It needs to be a first red day, a false break day, or an inside day. Okay. So boom, we have our first red day. Check. So when I'm coming to the charts, now notice this lower low, right? Now, lower low in the inside means what? Pump and dump. So I got a pump going into Friday. Now it's starting to coil. And guess where it's coiling at? The higher low that failed. So when we get to the charts, and if you're in my Discord, you know exactly how to trade reversals and trend trades. It's all about marking the break of structure, which coincidentally is the same level as Monday's high and the higher low that failed the previous day, which was the pump day. Here, we break structure, pull back entry. When you get to New York session, you're literally just getting a break and retest trade. That's literally, so if you didn't, you would have kind of gotten chopped up. Again, this is the 15-minute, but you honestly just had to see, okay, I know that we are already making lower lows. I'm on the backside. I'm looking for break and retest trades. I'm looking for break and retest trades. I need to either be taking trades from the most recent lower high, or it needs to be a breakout, pullback, and trend. Lower low starts the trade, pump, coil, dump. And notice this pattern coming off of breaching the previous day's low. So again, it's all about looking at those levels, right? I'm either selling from the high of day or the previous high of day, and look where the fill is. It's literally, you're at the high of day, you're at your breakout level, your higher low that failed, you're at this level. So it's literally you just pressing the button. You're taking pin hammers and engulfings off these levels. And you're literally just, I don't care if you're entering here. I don't care if you're entering here. I don't care if you're entering here. Your stop is going to be literally above these highs because think about it. If I'm taking a trend trade, my lower highs need to respect each other. If it invalidates these lower highs, then that means it's breaking structure to go to the upside. So my stop should be safe above these lower highs. Is the first red day a candle that broke below the open? Or is it the first candle that closed below the open after it puts in the high of the week? Keep it super simple. A first red day is nothing but a day that closes below the open at a weekly level. It needs to be at a weekly high, and there needs to be a day that closes below the open. And also, the first red day needs to be relatively smaller in range than your pump day. Okay, so because you need range back down, this is a whole pattern. So if I get a pump day and then my first red day literally closes in breakout, am I going to call that a first red day or am I just going to call that a pullback? You get what I'm saying? So you have to be careful. You need your first red days to be smaller in range for it to close below the open, and also for it to be making lower lows. You need to see those lower lows on your first red day. So, I trade stocks, so it's a little different. So, I started looking at the ES futures. I made notes, and can you please look at ES futures chart? Sure. What am I looking at? What's your question? This one looks good. I got a pump day. I got an inside day. Again, inside days. You are not to trade an inside day if it's in the inside. If I got an inside day, there's no way that I'm going to trade in the inside of the current day. You have to wait for these previous day levels to be breached. Otherwise, you're not going to know what it's going to do. It can be coiling right now, literally just to do this. Oops. Let me finish that pattern. It could literally just be coiling for it to reverse. You don't know if it can be coiling and then it breaks out and pull back in trend, but you need to know what happens when they breach the level. So if you're trading the inside day signal and then the next day you trade in the inside, good luck. You just trade a consolidation. It runs all the time, so no gaps. What's your thoughts on gold making a false break reversal, approaching last Friday's closing price too? Um, I'll give my opinion on gold, but I'm not trading gold until I get a signal. Macau, you got to send me like an actual question so I know how to what you're looking for. So I'll come back to it, but I'll look at gold. But I really don't even want to trade gold until is this the first green day? Oh, yes, it is a first green day. Oh, my bad. I didn't even look at it. Yeah, this looks really good. This is a 3-day setup, guys. And you would have known if you just close and breakout, right? First green day, inside day. Oh, it breached it ever so slightly. That is crazy right there. Okay, this is the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 3-minute. Oh, yeah, it did breach. It breached it barely, but it did breach it. And when it did, it dumped back down. I kid you not. It's the same thing. If I know I'm already trending up and I'm already in a trend, price is either going to retest the higher low or break out, pullback, and trend. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure, because think about it. It's just regular market structure. So when we break the previous day's high, and if we're dumping down, trend, boom. So Asia sessions opening up, we may get a pullback, but I mean, it's pretty much gone. I'm definitely not buying all the way up there. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I wouldn't buy all the way up there. There's got to be some type of pullback coming. But my thoughts on gold is that it's buying. My thoughts on gold is that it's buying. But anyways, guys, I'm trying to talk about the levels. I had an actual mission here. But just going back to, like, let's just talk about Russell. Let's go to Russell so I can just keep reiterating why you guys should just focus on the weekly template, because it's really all you need. Look how many trades. Now this one, 3-day long pattern, and the indices do the same things. Sometimes they happen at different times, but if you're just looking for signals, 1, 2, 3, you can't miss that. It's like, okay, if we're talking about high probability, like 90, 10, 90% chance, I bet my bottom dollar on me being profitable just trading 3-day longs and 3-day shorts. Like 1, 2, 3. I know what I'm looking for when I come to the chart. Everybody else just wants to do everything under the sun. It's this simple. I'm up high. This is Monday's high, false break, signal day, first red day trade. We breach the low, pump and dump. And this literally happens. There are templates every week that people are not paying attention to. Look at this one. I have a day. This is Monday's high and this is Monday's low. Okay. Monday closes. Am I trading? No. Tuesday closes. Am I trading? No. I'm not trading, because why? I'm looking for a pump and dump and we're down low. There's no way I would have been trading. I'm low on the week. We make a higher high and close. So my thought process is dump, coil, pump, higher high, dump, coil, pump. Boom. This day actually closes as an inside day. Do I have lower lows? I do not. I am waiting until this happens. Now I get the trade, because you're waiting for previous daily levels to be breached. Lower low, pump, coil, dump. What happens is that when you're coming to the charts, some people may be trading every day, but you're not like waiting for these days to close so you can understand the story. Because even if I put a box right here, let's say I didn't see any of this. So let me draw a box and let me just black it out. See. If I just came to the charts and I didn't see anything else, why can't I grab the box? This is absolutely just nuts. Okay, there we go. If I came to the charts and I only seen Wednesday, right? Am I doing anything? I'm not. Look where we are. This is Monday's high. This is Monday's low. I am in the inside of the box. I don't even have lower lows. Yes, I have a lower low right here, but are we making lower lows after that? We're not, because we false broken and made a higher high. So the only way that I can tell whether I needed to sell or not is after this day closes. Okay, now I'm in business. Why? Because this day breached the low and closed here, just like this. So I know that I have a lower low now because we've breached the daily level. And also, we've closed. This was an inside day, and we didn't breach the inside day until we got here and we closed here. So then I'm looking, right? And I know that a lower low starts a pump and dump. So I'm looking for this. Boom. Now we're at a weekly level, coiling. It's that simple. It's you just, I don't care where you're entering, here, 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 here. Your stop's going to be up high. You're at the high of day at a level. Don't think about the candles, think about the levels. I literally was talking to Stacy's friend. Well, I didn't talk to him. I commented under one of his pictures, Steven, Stacy's friend. And I was like, hey, like, I know that he takes traps and shifts. What's his thought process on it? And I kid you not, he does not overcomplicate it. He doesn't care. All he's doing is waiting for levels. And all he said to me was, wait for the levels, timings, levels, behavior, price. I'm only looking for trap and shifts at the levels. That's it. It's about pattern recognition. I don't care what's going on. Do I have a lower low that starts to trade? Yes. Do I have a pump? Yes. Now, am I at a level? Yes. Do I see a coil? Yes. Do I have lower lows in the inside? No, 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 no. Yes. Yes. Pump and dump. Make your rules so simple to where you cannot mess it up. You can't mess it up because it's that simple. I'm just looking for a lower low to start the trade. I'm looking for a pump. Then I'm looking for to be at a level, at a level. But if I'm selling, I need to be up high of day or previous high of day. So those are the levels that I choose to trade from because that's what's in my rules. Waiting is what I have to master. Waiting is very hard to master, but it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. Even just talking to the big guys like Steven and Stacy and Sniper and everybody that's doing this strategy. They're going to tell you the same things. It's not nothing new. It doesn't matter how many times you watch Stacy's video or any video out there. It's that simple. They're not overcomplicating it. Honestly, the easiest um, trading plan that I've ever heard was from Steven. He literally just waits for these levels to be breached and he takes traps and shifts. Like literally, it just happened on GBP NZD. I'm going to show you guys. There's no secret. It's literally waiting for this. You are not trading every single thing. If you are in the inside, you're diddling in the middle. Point blank, period. I don't care how good it looks. You're diddling in the middle. Now, if you're at the high of day, yes, that is technically considered diddling in the middle. However, would you rather sell anywhere else besides the high of day? And if I'm selling at the high of day, I need to know that the high of day is locked in. How can the high of day be locked in if we're still going up? It can't be. It's not locked in until it does this. It makes a peak formation and then starts to break down. That's how you know the high of day is locked in. Look at this one. The high of day is not locked in because we're making higher highs and higher low. It isn't until this happens. Stop hunt, peak formation. Then we break down. Then we respect the peak formation for the pump and dump trade. Lower low on the inside. That is key. So again, if I'm going higher, the high is not locked in. If I'm going lower, the low is not locked in. Think about it. You will see A tops, V bottoms, W's, whatever. It'll be peak formations that will lock in these highs. I'm going higher. Now it's locked in. You can really say this is a W. W. Peak formation, locked in the high. M's, lock in the highs. I don't know what that pattern is. Peaks. Peaks. This looked like a 3 push pattern. Peaks. Peak formations. That might be a M. A tops. I'm telling you, if traders would just sit on their hands over 50% of the time, not even 50, if you just really mark Monday's high and low, I don't care what it looks like. Mark Monday's high and mark Monday's low. It will make things a lot clearer. A lot. And you will save yourself the trouble from a lot of sticky situations. Because if I'm looking at this week, right? We make this low, and then now we have higher highs right here, right? So this higher high is justified for this dump, coil, and pump. Boom. Then we get to the weekly close. We make a peak formation, locking in the high of day, and then we start to break down. Then we close here. So if I'm looking at this, this is an inside day. Okay. So the next day, what do? I know I have a dump day. I know I have an inside day. Technically, this would be a 3-day setup. So when I'm looking at it this way, this day, what am I doing? Am I trading? No, I'm not trading. I'm not trading. Why? Because I need these levels to be breached. I am not going to trade in the inside of an inside day. Doesn't that sound kind of crazy? Mind you, granted, people do this and they trade from the closing price, which if you're going to trade from the closing price, it needs to be acting as support, which it did do. However, I would not recommend this. I just would not. It logically doesn't make sense to me. If we have an inside day, wouldn't I rather want to wait until these levels are breached to trade? So look at the next day, right? We have a double inside day. Now look how clean this move is. Now we've breached the previous day's high and made a higher high. Dump down, coil, pump. Would you rather wait for something like this, or would you rather wait for something that's clear? This was a perfect example, by the way, because a lot of people want to diddle, but they gonna FAFO. They're gonna FAFO. Do not trade in the inside of an inside day. Wait for the daily levels to be breached because those are the ACB setups. Those ACB setups that you're looking for, those 90-10 setups, it's right here. Why do I know this? Look, we've been low on the days. We've been low. We've been trading low. If this is Monday's low, we've been down low. But you all this volume right here, we just been cooking for the real explosive move. Explosive. Close and breakout. Now it's Friday. What type of day is Friday? Friday is day 3. It's usually a trend day or a reversal day. You get 2 really good setups, a nice sell setup and a buy coming right off of a level, which is, guess what? Monday's high. We finally break out of Monday's high. And what do? Breakout, pullback, trend. Can you please show us more inside day examples? I sure can. What I can do is turn off the others. No, I won't turn it off. I'll just look. Okay, I have an inside day right here. Boom. Now, what do we know about inside days? Inside days can give you trends and they can give you reversals, right? So look at this example right here. I have an inside day. Now, what am I doing? I'm waiting for the daily levels to be breached. We can get a trend, we can get a reversal. Now, what if I want to make it so mechanical to where I just want to trade one signal and I only want to take reversals. You can do that. You can say, okay, I only want to trade inside days and I want to take reversals, whether that's a reversal sell high setup or a reversal buy low setup. You can absolutely do that. So if I got an inside day and we breached the previous day's high and I know that I take reversal trades, well, what would I need to see? I would need to see, again, timings, levels, behavior, price. So this is the 3-minute chart. And I'm looking, well, for one, I would be on the 15-minute chart first, and I would be looking for a bullish candle close to get to that high. And then after that, I'm dropping down to my lower time frames and I'm seeing timings, levels, and behavior price. And I got a pump, check. I have a coil, check. Do I have a lower low? Check. I have a lower low. So now what do I need to see? It needs to get back there and fail. 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. Look at those patterns. That's very important. Lower low starts the trade pattern. Then we just start to break down. And what do we know a downtrend does? Break and retest. Break and retest. Break and retest. Look at how many opportunities it gave you. This one didn't do it that well, but it kind of retested that structure that it made, that M. Remember, if I'm going down, I'm going to be breaking and retest trading or retesting those lower highs. But guess what stays the same? Do my highs get invalidated? They do not. And that is the key. Once you know if you're in a reversal situation or a trend situation, it gets very easy. It gets very easy. The hard part is your emotions. Because if I'm coming to the charts and let's say I'm just coming to the charts and I only see this. When I'm coming to the charts and I only see this, like, what is your feelings? I want to know. Drop it in the chat. How would you feel? You come to the charts, you're looking for your signal, which is the inside day. You're looking for your reversal trade and you're at the previous day's high. Are you scared? Are you nervous? What do you look for? What's your process? Now, how about now? Lower lows. Okay. You gearing up? You getting ready? Now it's doubt. It's fear going in your mind. You're like, oh no, I thought this was a lower low. I'm wrong. When really nothing's been invalidated. You just haven't locked in the high yet. Now look. Now what? Lower low. Oh, now I'm really confident. So if I would have been scared then, I'm like, okay, this just boosted my confidence. And then I get this. And I'm like, boom, I'm entering. Stop loss above the high. I'm very, very confident. And then look, you barely get any heat. If you just put your stop loss above the high and you get in at the levels, you will be fine. This is always the starter entry for me. This is the starter entry. Then it's this entry here. Stop loss above the levels. I need like at least a 50 pip stop loss. But after that, it gets super easy. All you're doing is looking for lower lows. That's it. That's all. Can you explain the daily signal by Stacy? I always see him referring to the daily signal than the actual day signal. What do you mean? Like, are you talking about like a signal on the day rather than a signal day? Is that what you're trying to talk to me about? Because I used to get really confused about that too. I'm like, okay, well, signal on the day, what does that mean? We already have a signal. Now you're saying a signal on the day. Is that different? On the daily time frame? I have no clue. what you referring to, as far as the only signals that he talk about is the actual signals, which is the close and breakout and the first red day, first green day, inside day, those signals. But if he's looking at the daily time frame, for one, I barely use the daily time frame. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I really don't use the daily time frame. So if you don't understand a daily time frame like this looks absolutely beautiful. And I would literally be buying NZD. GBP NZD? Like what? Come on now. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, we're definitely getting there. Yeah. That would be interesting to see that play out. But with the daily time frame, he's looking for multiple days that break out. So, for instance, right? Let's look over here. Now, let me turn off my signals a little bit so I can show you what he's looking for. Oh, okay. When he's on the daily chart, signals on the day is when a day high or low is broken. Yes, absolutely. But what Stacy's looking for is multiple days that break out. So you'll see him draw like his little lines and he'll be like, okay, this candle broke out of this candle. So he'll mark that. And he's looking for multiple days of breakout. So we got 2 days of shorts and then the reversal trade for the day 3 setup, which is a Friday, coincidentally. And literally, he's just doing that, looking at days that break out here. We've broken out, we've pulled back, and we've trended. Like, that's all he's doing. I don't do that. I don't think it's really necessary as far as like what I'm looking for. He's looking for multiple days of breakout from the daily candles, like those little blue lines that he puts up there. But for me, all I need to see is structure. I don't try to like, for me, like it's too hard for me to understand that than me just sitting there saying, okay, um, and you turn the opacity down. When I break out of a high and make a higher high, we dump, we coil, we pump, and that's that. And I don't want to think about anything else. So I rarely use the daily time frame. It's really just me using the 15-minute. Think about it. I'm really not trying to be in my trades that long. So if you probably consider us to be like day traders, borderline scalpers, you know? So it's not the daily time frame. I mean, it's not something that I really use, to be quite honest. I do not use the daily time frame at, well, I'm not going to say at all, but rarely I do. So for me, it's just marking these swing highs and swing lows because, I mean, it's not going to lie. Market structure doesn't lie. We know price is going to break out. We know price is only going to do 3 things. Stacy preaches that. So why would I look for anything else? I only want to do what's proven. I don't want to do what I have to like figure out. If I have to figure it out, then I don't know if it's proven or not. Hence why there are a lot of people that are confused because they try to figure something out because they're not understanding it. And then they try to implement it at the same time they're trying to understand it. And then wondering why their win rate is not where it needs to be, or they feel like they're not understanding when in reality, we're not going to understand every single thing. Stick to what works. If you know that you're bad at trends, don't take trend trades. If you know you're bad at reversals, don't take reversal trades. It's just that simple. If you know that your problem is over trading, I'm sorry to tell you, but you don't need to take trades every day. You don't. You have the whole weekly template. And I would rather put my size in one trade than to sit here and keep taking trades. And it's all having to do with the levels, the daily levels. That is key. You had a pump and dump template here this week. You had a pump and dump template here that kept giving you sells. You had a pump and dump template here that kept giving you sells. So it's when people say, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to get a lot of trades doing the weekly template. I'm like, how? There's another one. Oh, dump and pump template. There's another one. Pump and dump. There's another one that gave you multiple days to sell high. Dump and pump template. There's another one. 3 day shorts. So people can't tell me that they can't like find these because they're there. They're there. They're proven every single week. It's a template. Dump and pump and dump and pump and pump and dump. There's templates everywhere. But what people are doing is they're not getting specific. They keep watching videos and videos and videos, even though they're confused. They're still watching it, trying to give themselves information overload rather than saying, okay, first off, let me find a community. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it is very hard to sit in front of a computer and try to understand a man that you know you can't understand and then doing it all by yourself. That is the worst. And I'm just speaking from experience, not speaking from a mentor. I'm speaking from experience. That is extremely hard because you don't have people around you that are holding you accountable and that are guiding you through it. Luckily, in my journey, I had a guy who was mentoring me, but he didn't know it to this extent. What he did was he took the close and breakout signal and he only took pump and dumps. And that's how I started. That's why it's my favorite, because I started with the close and breakout pump and dump. So but the point is that these people are getting a lot of payouts and passing accounts, and they're doing this because they're not trading every single thing. They're not watching every single video every day. They're not sitting here trying to trade every single day. They saw one thing, it stuck out to them, and they kept doing it over and over again. A funny story: before I found this strategy, I was trading off fib levels. Believe it or not, I passed my first funded account. I passed it just trading off of fib levels. My point that I'm trying to make is that it's the people that overcomplicate things that are not profitable, but the people that have found something, pattern recognition, fib levels. I don't care what it is, something simple and that comes with like a 5-step rule. Those are the people that are in the game for the long haul. I was watching a seminar today and it was just absolutely amazing because you really think that when you're watching these videos, you're going to find the ultimate trading secret. There's no secret. Everything is online nowadays. Everything is on YouTube University. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys, and I really want to really just hit it home that there is no shortcuts to this. There's no shortcuts. You have to stop over trading. It is what it is. So what if you only take one trade, two trades a week? A week? One trade can wipe out however much you made on your regular day job. But people are still unsatisfied with that. I have a person that's making $15 an hour that only makes about 120 to 150 a day, but then will hop on the charts and literally make like $200 and overtrade because that's not enough. You're making more than what you're making at your job in a day by sitting at a chart for 2 hours. It's crazy what people do nowadays. Signals on the day is when, okay, I already read that. Can I get the indicators that show the levels? So this is my indicator that I've created, and you can get it. I can put my WAP link in here. By the way, if you were thinking about doing one-on-ones or joining VIP, my discount codes will be ending this week. So after the end of March, there will be no more discounts. There's 30% off my 6 sessions and 20% off your first month of VIP. So that will be ending this month, which is this week. But I'm going to put my link here just in case. I always kind of forget to do that type of stuff. Okay, here it is. Let me just copy this, copy. All right. That is where you can get my indicator, where you can get one-on-ones. If you like anybody that's new in here, I have a Discord. I have a free side. I'll post that, my Discord channel. If you want a community to trade with, please don't trade alone. That's boring and very just not fun. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm so excited to meet all and every single one of you. I know there's some regulars, but if you're new here, welcome to the family. Thank you for supporting me. And I'll continue to do this until I really just hit home because I was confused. And now I feel like it's my duty to you guys. It's my duty to you guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it. Otherwise, it's that simple, guys. Weekly template. Keep it super simple. I don't care what you do. Remember that Stacy lays out a foundation. It is up to you what you do with that information because you don't have to trade like Stacy. You do not have to trade like Stacy. You can literally just sell the high of the week. I'm just saying. I'm interested for sure. Can you use this for gold, Nas? Of course. You can use this on any market. Doesn't matter what market it is. If it's a chart, it's going to get charted. If it's a chart, it's going to get charted. But yes, this strategy, you can use it on any type of market. Look at gold. Okay, I'll look at gold. I'll bite. Gold should be going up, hopefully. It looked very bullish. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It was out of there. Once it hit that previous daily high after that inside day, dump and pump. Sometimes it's the train just gonna fly and you just not gonna catch it unless you really like looking and on Asian session. And a lot of the times, if you're an Asian session trader, you get a lot of continuations. A lot of continuations. But these are easy, guys. Easy money. 3-day setups, easy money. We've already known that this is closed and breakout 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was not selling these days. Why? Because look how low we were. I'm not selling a market down low. So what I needed to see was this signal. Do you understand that when you wait for signals, it tells you what to do the next day? You can do this on any market. Doesn't matter what it is. So when the market breaks the opening range, that's when we can anticipate a reversal or continuation. Precisely. Really, when you're marking your Monday's high and your Monday's low, it's the market telling you, okay, I've broken out by a close and breakout. And then the market telling you by the inside day, okay, but I failed the breakout. And now I'm kind of breaking down. And then after the inside day, it's like, okay, girl, you got your lower lows. We failed, obviously. So now we've broken the low again, the previous daily low. Once you break daily levels in the inside of the pump, that's for sure. That's a go. That's a trade. We'll definitely be trying this. Just join the Discord. That's what's up. Welcome to the family. Cowboy Dog Official. I hope you like that theme song that I created for you. I was going to do sound effects, but I was like, nah. Markets are mechanical. They are very, very mechanical. So that means that you need to be mechanical. Again, 3-day setup. We have now, look at this one. This is Monday's high right here. Oh, no, wait. No. Yes, I'm right. This is Monday's high. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why the high says it's all the way right here. I think it's a glitch on TradingView. TradingView been tripping. This is Monday's high. And then we're literally in the inside. Literally. We breached Monday's low here, right? So can I just grab the line? Can I grab the line? Oh, so I can't grab the line. Maybe this wasn't even a line. So this is Monday's low. I'm pretty sure that was a line. We breach it, but we put in a peak formation. And guess what that peak formation did? It locked in the low of the week. Then we start making higher highs and higher lows, right? And the inside of where we just dumped from. So we sell from Monday's high on Tuesday. We put in a peak formation low that locked in the low, closed back in the inside. The next day, boom, we're inside the range. We're not doing anything. Am I doing anything? No. Am I doing anything? No. Wow. Now we've closed in breakout. Okay. I'm looking at the charts. Now we got a first red day. Breakout, pull back, fail, reverse. By knowing to wait for the levels to be breached. So if I'm looking at this, right, let me zoom in on this day. For after the first red day, we're still in the inside, right? How do I know that a high is locked in? We have this A top right here. We have a peak formation, A formation. We coil and then we dump, right? Technically, this is a lower low. Can you see that? Because we were making higher lows and then we failed. We broke this low, lower low, pump, coil at the high of day and dump, lower low again, pump and dump from closing price. Again, I really like to wait for the daily levels to be breached. We breach the low, pump and dump, retest trade from London, lower low again. So when we get to New York, it literally did this every single session. Breakout, pullback, trend, engulfing candle. What time is this? 8 a.m. It's that simple. It's that simple. Inside day. Inside day. Am I trading the inside day signal and the inside of the current day? Am I doing that? No. So would I take this trade? No. Skip, move on. Close and breakout. Okay, I got to close and breakout up. Down. Let's say I just want to take reversal trades from a close and breakout signal. Once we broke out of here, we pull back, we fail, we reverse, higher high, dump, coil, pump. Higher high, dump, coil, pump. When we're at closing price should be acting as support. It's acting as support. Am I in the inside of the range though? Yes. But am I at the low of day? Yes. Remember, I'm only buying the low of day or the previous low of day. That is the only time I am trading. I know that Asia put in the low and Asia put in the high. So what do I think price is going to do? Boom. It's that simple. Low of day, high of day. Now look what we do. We break out of the higher day and make a higher high. So higher high equals dump, coil, pump. This little mini pattern is still money. I'm sorry, but it is. Don't get trapped in some fancy indicator mechanical structure. Exactly. Now, this closed as an inside day. An inside day. How do we trade inside days? Reversals or trends? Depends on what you're looking for. If I know that I'm a reversal trader and my signal is an inside day, what am I looking for? We break out the previous day's low from an inside day. We pull back and we fail. We get a pin hammer coming right off the previous day's low. After that, look what we're doing. Higher highs in the inside, right? So when New York opens up, what am I looking for? I already have failed at the low. We failed the breakout. So when we make higher highs, it's evident. All I'm looking for is levels, timings, levels, behavior, price. That's it. That's all. Once I get to the level, I am looking at the behavior of price. This is the 15-minute chart. Look at this. This is at 10 a.m. on gold. New 15-minute rotation. Then we get an engulfment candle at 10:15. And you can take your entry here, stop loss below here, and take the trade up. Because the thesis is that when you reverse at the low, it's going to get back to the other side of the range. That's what an inside day means. When you get the reversal at the high or the low, you're reversing, then you take it to the other side of the range. So this didn't get there until the next day. But again, look what starts this trade. Higher high. Dump down. Where? To the most recent higher low. If I'm in an uptrend, why should I be looking for something to break structure? I'm already on the side that I want to be on. Take the trade. You are literally made the higher high. You dump back down to the higher low. You coiled clearly, and now you have an engulfment candle at a new 15-minute rotation, 9 o'clock. Boom. That's an easy trade. Then you break the previous day's high, right? So this is what I'm looking for. I like to see daily levels breached. Why? Because look at this, higher high. We dump down, we retest where we broke out of. Boom, engulfment candle. Then we start making higher highs in the inside on our way back up. Higher high. Again, that starts our dump coil pump pattern. And then it's all about, boom, timings, levels, and behavior, price. I know that if I'm in an uptrend, none of these lows should be invalidated, and they were not invalidated. Engulfing candle, engulfing candle, engulfing candle. You literally had 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities to enter. Timings, levels, behavior, a price. What is your pattern? When we break out of a high, what are we doing? Breakout, pullback trend, or breakout, fail, reverse? I mean, get specific. People want to know the holy grail, but I'm telling them right now, don't forget about, I'm not saying forget about everything that Stacy's saying. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that do whatever resonates with you. Because you're the one that got to look at the screen at the end of the day. US 30. I can do one more example, guys, and then I'm going to get off. I hope this helped you guys. I really wanted to emphasize the importance of levels and the importance of marking Monday's high and Monday's low and waiting for these opportunities. Every single week, there is an opportunity for somebody. It may not be an opportunity for you because maybe you didn't get your signal that week, but it is an opportunity on a weekly basis. Monday's high. Look at this. And it has everything. It has everything to do with you not being patient. High. We close as a close-in breakout. Now we have an inside day. Believe it or not, this is a dump and pump pattern and a pump and dump pattern all in one. How much is the discount on VIP? It's 20% on the first month. That on is the wild New York accent. So helpful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're getting clarity. But we actually had a dump and pump template this week and a pump and dump. This was actually a perfect week. Look at this. This was 2 3-day setups for the front side and the back side. You got a dump day, day 1. Remember, on day 1, all we need to know is it dumping or is it pumping? That's literally it. Day 2, you're still sitting on your hands because you're waiting for a signal day. You're waiting for something to tell you to buy. I literally have a breakout that has failed. Inside of the fail, right? How do I know it's failed? Because if I know that we've closed in breakout and I know that markets only do 3 things, then I need to see it fail here. It failed here 2 times, and on its way to failing, higher highs are being made. Can you see that? Higher highs are being made while we're failing. So when we get to the New York, this is an obvious buy because we're buying, guess what? The higher low. But regardless, You're sitting on your hands. On these days like this, when you're waiting for your signal day, you need to be observing the way price is reacting. Those are your observation days. Those are the days where you're sharpening the sword. You're like, okay, let me just, crisp up, get really good on identifying these signals and the patterns of these signals so that I don't be scared to trade the next day. Wait. Day 3, what are we looking for? We are looking for a daily level to be breached. These are very specific rules. Don't mess them up. No exceptions. Daily level breached, higher high. Higher high equals dump, coil, pump. Simple as that. Simple as that. So if you come to New York session, mind you, you didn't even get the pump till the gap time, right? But the point is, if I see prices trending like this, am I going to try to take the buy? No. Why? Because I need a dump and a pump. I need a higher high to be made for me to dump and pump. We've broken out the high and we're making higher highs. So I need a dump and then a pump because the high needs to be locked in for me to get that higher high. Then I need to dump down where? To the most recent higher low. This is the low. This is the high. This high made this low. When we break out of a high, we will pull back, coil, and pump because that is the behavior of an uptrend. Lows should not be invalidated. Higher high, dump, and pump. Now, let's say I get a first green day and then I get a closing breakout, but I have enough range to get back to the top of the box. That's the goal, right? To get back to the weekly high. I understand this dump coil pump. Why? Because we have a higher high that starts to trade. We are dumping, we're coiling, especially during London time. And look what we do. We literally make a higher high and we retest. And it does this all the time. Low, high, lower low, well, equal low. But this was our lower high that it broke out of and retested. But again, this is day 2. This is day 2. So it depends on what you want to see because let's say that this happened in the front side of the week. Obviously, I'm not looking for buys. I'm a pump coil dump trader. So I'd be sitting all the way on my hands until this happens. Once I see the stop hunt happen and then boom, lower lows. Day 2, first red day, pump day, first red day, stop hunt at the high of the week, lower lows now on the inside. Now, what am I looking for the next day? Simple. I need a daily level to be breached. Previous day low. Pump up. What level are we at? Closing price. Timings, levels, behavior, price. Do you trade live during the week? So I go live with my community. Now I'm starting to go live Tuesdays through Fridays. So I'll go through the charts in live times and I see whether something looks like a sell or a buy. I don't share my TPs and all that stuff and give people like my stop loss information and all that stuff, but I do go live with my community live. So the way I'm doing it now is that Tuesdays and Thursdays are my observation days where I'm doing live, like actual live breakdowns. And then Wednesday and Friday, I'm looking for my day 3 trades with my community. So the reason why I did it, I'm starting to do that like that now is because I don't want people to think that every day I'm looking for trades because I'm not. I'm not looking for trades every day. I'm looking for this. Lower low, pump, closing price, engulfing candle, 430, boom, that's first entry. Now this is gap time. So let's say you didn't see this, right? Now I know I'm on a backside because we broke in structure, lower low, pump and dump. Now by the time we get to New York, we're already on the backside. It's just about me taking trend trades. Breakout, pull back, guess what? Trend. You need to know what you're looking for in every single situation. And it's really not even a lot if you get specific on the setup. Dump and pump, pump and dump. Pick your choice. They're all there. They're all there, guys. Other than that, that's really all I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is the levels. Because I see a lot of questions about Stacy Brick Traders just asking what the levels are, and just a very simple way to look at it. And this is probably one of the most simplest ways that I can probably teach is boxing in Monday's opening range, and then letting the week set up. Let the market makers show their hands so that you can position yourself correctly instead of trying to trade every single day. You're looking for trades. You're not hunting. Like, you're not hunting. When you go to the charts, you're looking for trades. But if you had like an actual plan that you could remember, because think about it. It's just like memorizing a song. Your favorite songs, you're going to memorize the words to, but you don't memorize the words to every single song out there. You get what I'm saying? There's going to be times where obviously it's a plenty of songs that I don't memorize because it's not catchy enough for me. That's what I feel like people are doing with their trading. It's like a song. Like, it needs to stick. So maybe the lyrics or your trading plan isn't catchy enough for you. It's not something, it's too complicated. You have too much writing on your trading plan. You need something: step 1, pump; step 2, signal; step 3, dump; step 4, whatever, whatever. Keep it that simple. Because if your brain really wanted to memorize something, it will. But you need to put in the work, do the reps, take screenshots, go through your week, your previous week on your favorite pairs, and see what trades, 3-day setups that you could have took on your weekly template. Study those. Study them. Don't tell me you studying them. You not studying enough. You got to study every day because you need to memorize these patterns. If you really are studying every day, then I guarantee you by the end of this month, if you do it for 1 month, you will be profitable. It only took me 3 months in total to get consistent doing this. But during those first 2 months, I was a little confused. During the last month of me really locking in, I finally got consistent because I started looking for this.